Hello, welcome to another episode with me. It is so good to see you, and I am coming to you from Miami. I literally made it down here in less than a week. I made plans and I made it happen. I got the intuition that I need to be down here and that I needed to wrap up my coaching business, my one-on-one. And I was like, all right, I guess we're doing it. And in a span of a week, I had to move very quickly, wrap up my business, shut it down, find housing, and I'm here. And I've been here less than a week now, and it's been crazy because I've been quantum jumping and quantum shifting. And so if you're not familiar with that concept, it's basically like, it's so exciting. It's you shifting into a new identity and basically building a new life and leveling up, but it requires a lot of energy. I have been drinking water like my life depends on it, because it does, but like we're talking about like 3+ liters a day. It's been crazy. And so this episode really is just about going for it, not waiting for the right time, for the perfect moment. But most importantly, if you're going through drastic changes right now and it's stressful and it's difficult, whenever this finds you and whenever you find me, I just want to let you know that you are not alone in the experience and that greater and better things are coming. Sometimes we get really overwhelmed with change, and then fight or flight kicks in. And most importantly, there's a sense of loss, a loss of identity, a loss of people, places, things, opportunities, etc., etc. And so you're like, oh my gosh, like I just keep losing things. What does this mean? Like, do I not deserve to have a good life? Do I not deserve to do well? Do I not deserve these things? Because the universe, God, higher self, quantum, whatever you want to call it, if you don't believe in anything, things just keep getting taken away from me. But let me tell you that it means space is being created. You can't literally move a new couch into your home when you already have a new couch unless you have space for a new couch. That old couch needs to go. That old bed needs to go. That old furniture needs to go if you want new furniture, better furniture. And sometimes it even means that you have to move somewhere new for the couch that you wanted to be there. And I didn't realize that because I had never seen myself coming down here to Miami. Like, what do you mean? Like, I've been here, visited a few times, I've clubbed, I've done my thing, I've beached, I've done it all, I've cruised out of here, but I never thought that I'd live here. I thought it would be Dubai, I thought it would be maybe somewhere in Asia, I even thought maybe LA, and then last minute, it just came out of nowhere, and I was like, are we sure? Like, Miami, I need to be in Miami, like Miami. And I could not be happier being here. But it also means that the lifestyle that you are trying to go for, at least for me, like I've always wanted to be a millionaire, and it's more than just about the money. It's about who I am becoming to become a millionaire. And for me, and it just like brings me so much joy and almost puts me to tears, it's about the process. Like, who did I need to become this millionaire version of me? And the millionaire version of me needed to be here in Miami and meet who she needs to meet, which I haven't met anybody yet. I have met people through DMs, and people have been so kind, reaching out, welcoming me, like trying to make plans, etc. And so I'm going to be meeting up with some people, befriending people. And we're now in October of 2025, but it's just like, I know that this is where I need to be to get to the next place. This is where I am being held so that I can grow, because the container back home in DC was honestly miserable. Like, I was never in politics. Like, I did involve myself in politics for like, a year, and then I decided that it wasn't for me, but it was still not technically politics. It was the nonprofit world adjacent to politics. So I went and lobbied, and I did a lot of things, and then I protested, and I threw down I got with the students and, almost got arrested, all the fun stuff for the sake of Palestine. Viva Palestine, viva Congo, Sudan, Uganda, any part of the world. I will always stand up. And that was a really fun adventure. Like, I will always stand up for humanity. I will always stand for what's right, even when it seems like it's wrong. And it's not wrong, but like some people get really anxious and they don't want to lose things. I was like, I am willing to get arrested. Arrest me. And I was like in front of the cops, and I was like on campus, like camping out, like at GW, George Washington. It was a crazy fun time. I was a part of a coalition, and I did amazing things where we went and lobbied on behalf of Palestine, and we may not have been able to stop a lot of bills where Israel got funding, military funding, but we did get a few of like the drafted like resolutions introduced, and they're part of the bills, which is basically saying, okay, like, we give you this money, but you get humanitarian aid in as well, et cetera, et cetera. So like, it was really, really fun, but that was still not me. Like, I'm not into politics. I've dated people in politics, and it's fun to hear about it, but it wasn't me. And so because I walked into this world, creating content and coaching, I was like, well, this is not the place for me anymore. And I just knew it and moved out of my place. And then in that month where I was just like, I don't know what's going on here, personally, a lot of stuff blew up in my face and fell apart, and specifically with family, but I don't want to go into it right now. And then what ended up happening is Miami popped up. And so this is just me sharing a part of myself and my story to let you know that you need to give yourself permission to explore, and it does not need to make sense. I will not lie to you. I had been a little nervous. I'm feeling better, but I'm just like, where's the money gonna come from? I just shut down a business. Like, yeah, sure, I will create products, but I'm not creating things because I want to make money. I'm creating things because it's what I need to create and put out there, and it's a gift. And then in return, I get money for that. But I just don't want my existence to be around money and like enslaved to money, because that's not how it is naturally. But we have succumbed ourselves to this system, and we've been born into it, and we require money to live. And money is beautiful. It's a beautiful energy. It's necessary, but most importantly, it's part of us. We are the creators of money, and when you go deeply into the energy, like, money is just an extension of us. And so I do want to explore it, but I don't want to explore it from a sense of obligation. And so I had created all of these opportunities for myself to get out of this system where I felt like I needed to work for the men, the system. Went from consulting, went from ad agencies, went from working for school, like just did all of these things to, I worked for my university for a little bit, and then did all of these ventures. I was never in a place, listen, I will never be somewhere where I don't want to be, so I was just floated around. And then I ended up here, and I loved it, but it's just, this is what I need to do, and then I move on, it's projects. And so allow yourself to explore, because you don't know who you truly are until you explore that side of you and your passions. And then you realize, I am passionate about this, but it's not how I want to make money. Maybe I'll just do this part-time. Like, I love the art of protest. I just really do. I love the nonprofit world. Like, this is not what I want to do, but I want to contribute. I want to speak on behalf of issues. I want to advocate. I want to do all these things, but I don't want to be making a living out of it. I loved coaching, and I loved each one of my clients, and it's been really a privilege to work with each of them, hold them. I've learned from them as much as they've learned from me, but I just don't want that responsibility anymore. I just don't. And so that was really fun, and I wrapped it up before it became anything other than I'm really enjoying this process. And I was getting really tired physically because, I'm psychic, and I channel these beings, these beautiful beings that are their guides and their ancestors. And it's become a thing where my vessel was getting really exhausted. I mean, these beings, if you don't understand how it works, like our ancestors sit in a realm that's closer to ours, but then these other beings that like are our guides, they are like high frequency. We are talking about like talking to somebody, you're sitting on the third floor, so 3D, right? That's the world we live in. And then you're talking to somebody like in the penthouse on the 50th floor. And you're like, hey, and they come down and then you go up a little bit. So you're meeting maybe like on the 30th floor, but it's a lot for your body because your body sits in density, and then those beings are just kind of like, ooh. So it's just like a lot. I'm having to like switch channels to receive this information and then double check that it's the right thing and I didn't misinterpret things to give it, and holding on to that person's energy. And like basically you're like a doctor, you put on gloves and you're just like handling them very carefully. You have to be very responsible because they come to you, and so you don't want their energy on you, but you also don't want to put your energy on them, but you want to hold them and help them in whatever capacity that they're coming to you as, because I do energy healing as well, and give them the messages. So it was just like, I'm like, oh, it's kind of like a fragile egg. And not that these people are fragile, but like the responsibility of guiding somebody and being trusted is huge. And so I was just like, okay, are we sure? Okay. I was just getting, my body was just like, this is a lot. And so I wrapped it up, and now I'm here and I have no idea what's next. But here's the thing. Have some fun. Take some risks. You're not going to lose anything by taking a risk, but you will live with regret. Like, okay, I don't like Miami. I'll move. For now, I like it. I'm enjoying it. I didn't like DC. I moved. Like, it's not that difficult. It is actually the thought process. Now, I know some of you are going to say, oh, well, it's a resource thing. Yes. I made the resources happen, okay? From scratch. I did it. You can do it too. I did it. I literally said, I'm going to meet this goal of getting money in this week, and then I'm having, and I worked and I got it done. You can get whatever you want done. You just have to tell your mind that that's what's going to happen, and then you have to take the proper steps to get it done. And sometimes it may take you longer because you have to formulate a bigger plan. Maybe you don't have the right resources, etc. You don't need to know anybody. You don't need to rely on anybody. Get it fucking done, okay? And if there are people along the way that can help you, that can hold you, that can support you, why not? Why would you make it harder on yourself? You know? Stop playing games. Stop making excuses. Stop sitting in your comfort zone. Stop it. It is really not it. It's not it. It's not it. Because how cool is it? I even like went shopping and I bought like this set, and I'm not a set person. Like, I'm wearing these really nice pants and this. Let me show you. Okay. It's cute. Okay? It's very cute. It's adorbs. I won't show you too much of my butt. You gotta wine and dine me. But I bought this set, and I'm not a set person, but it was just like, what a nice opportunity to explore like a new closet. Like, it didn't really cost much. I just went to the Marshalls and got it. But I was like, how nice. I was walking by, I was like, I'll buy something. Maybe I walked around, I was gonna buy something else, and I just bought this set, and I was like, how nice is it that I get to explore this new version of me in Miami who is now open to wearing sets, because I was gonna buy this like mini skirt that was like a jean skirt, and I was just like, you're never too old for anything, but I was just like, I'm too old for this skirt. It's just not me. But how cool is it that you get to be in a new place? and then explore that and explore the people and the environment. So just put yourself out there, go for it. The worst that can happen is nothing changes. Okay, so you're back to square one. Okay, you didn't even fail. You couldn't fail, actually. You did such a bad job, you stayed where you are. You didn't even fail, because like failure would have meant that something changed, right? Like, so that's like the way that I talk to myself is I didn't even fail because I'm just in the same position. But going for something new and something changing, even if it seems like it's bad, perceived as bad, it's still something new that you're exploring, something that you didn't have before. And then you can just tell yourself, which I do all the time when I like mentally work on my mind and strengthen it, because my mind is so stubborn, but I am more stubborn. I am more determined than my mind is I try to mold my mind into being more open with exploring, and in terms of safety, just like push in the boundaries and redefining things, stretching my definitions of existing terms, existing perceptions, etc., etc. You need to like stretch yourself. You really need to stretch yourself. You know, it's kind of like when you go to the gym and you realize, you know, I can't do the splits. You gotta start practicing. But try it out, you know? Okay, especially if your age has nothing to do with anything. I just want to let you know. Like, I'm 27, okay? Some people might call me old. Some people might call me young. Doesn't matter. It's just an age. It's all about your mind. I understand if you have like a family and responsibilities, sometimes it feels like, you know, I have to take a more calculated risk. And I get that because you have responsibility. But even then, you're worth it. You're worth it. Repeat after me, I'm worth it. We're always worth it. It's always worth it. It's always worth it. And the reason why I'm not so stuck up my own butthole, and I don't mean to be vulgar, but like really, like I'm so intense. Like I can be so intense. Like I used to be type A, turned into type B, but I have tendencies into going back to like type A with some OCD, because I was raised by a mother who had OCD. So, and then I'm neurodivergent, so my brain's just like, we need to do it this way. I am still able to push myself out of that by literally just breaking the routine. Literally, I was going to say something else, but I completely forgot. Breaking the routine, breaking out of your daily habits, of like who you've become, of like who you anticipate yourself to be. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like we have a certain construct and a certain way we operate. And like, I don't know if you drive, but like if you're driving, you'll realize sometimes you'll get home and you'll be like, I don't even know how I got home because I was like somewhere else. But I just know how to drive and I knew how to get home. It's like that. If you start to like witness yourself operating, you'll realize, oh, I'm on autopilot. You cannot be on autopilot. Autopilot is what's killing your spirit. Okay? Break it up. Okay? Create some chaos. I'm not talking about bad chaos. I'm just talking about something where your mind snaps out of it and is no longer under, you know, hypnosis and is like, oh, what's going on? I need to pay attention. What's going on here? Okay? Like, do that. Do that, even if it doesn't mean you're moving somewhere new and you're doing something new. Just get yourself out of the habits. There are some habits that are really great, but then there are others where you need to get out of them, you know? I don't know why I even brought up the OCD stuff and being different types, but I started changing because I needed to figure out that I need to let go of some things that really don't matter. You know, I used to like literally move like a cup from like where it was supposed to be, like 2 inches over where it would bother me, just to kind of like break my mind and like melt it and like literally turn it where it would just be like, ugh. And it was like, this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. So if this right here doesn't matter, but I think it's a big deal, like not putting the knives where they're supposed to be and putting them where the spoons are, I would just like mess with myself like that in such a tiny way. And this doesn't matter. Does it really matter that I'm getting upset about something so, what seems like so big, but it's not, like a friend saying something a certain way? It's really not that big of a deal. Like if they disrespected me, I'll call them out, but like I'm not gonna let it ruin my day. If I'm driving or I'm walking and you know a stranger says something to me during checkout or whatever, I'm not gonna let someone else's behavior, I'm not gonna let the world determine my mindset, my attitude, and my lifestyle. And that, once you start to pay attention to how the little things add up, you start to realize that you're actually operating from a reactionary place. All of a sudden, you start to realize there's really not much that I'm doing that I'm just doing for myself. I'm just borrowing definitions of how I should be living, of why I need to be living this way, of how I should be spending my money, where I should be spending my money, what I should be doing with my money, what I should be doing with my body, my mind, my life. Get out of it. Get out of it. Disrupt the flow. Okay, and I am here to always disrupt your flow. These are not really good cushions, but I just wanted to share my progress and help inspire you and tell you that like I'm always surprised myself. I'm really good at surprising myself and just sometimes like taking myself by, not just like surprised, but I get like, I'm just like, wow, you're like genuinely remarkable. Like I don't even recognize you when you take actions like this. I want you to have those moments where you look at yourself and you say, no matter what, I always know that I'm not just gonna survive, but I'm living. And I'm gonna do whatever it takes, even if it's difficult, to get myself and to get where I need to be, right? You just got to. And guess what? I'm in Miami. I'm about to start learning some Spanish. I'm about to go back to dancing, all right? I'm about to get myself some moolah, okay? And who knows, maybe I'll get myself a really nice lover, okay, who will be my honey bubba, because sugar is not enough if I like honey, okay? We gotta cut out the processed stuff, you know? And who knows? And if I like it here, I'll be here for a while. If I don't, on to my next adventure. I will never tie myself down to a life that I don't want, that I'm not satisfied with, okay? And you need to do that. You have one life. And I know sometimes I come up on your feed and I tell you this, but literally you have one freaking life. And it's so short, and it's so short. And whether or not you're aware that we cross over and we, you know, transition into like our original selves and we become something else, you'll never be this character again. Like, come on, we get to play different characters, but like, you'll never get to be this character again. And you have the opportunity to become the best character and write the best script and have the most fun. And you're just like, cry in a scenic place, add some music to it. Come on, like, have you never watched a movie or a show? Okay, like when I cry, I do it in the shower with some music in the background, you know, for some vibes. Like, I go and walk out in the rain and like feel it, like be drama. Like, Not be dramatic. You are the drama. Bring it. I hope this was helpful. I love you so much. If there's anything you'd like me to talk about, I will. I've definitely taken into account some of the topics that you guys want to talk about, and I will be bringing them up. But I just want to say I love you, and you're doing a great job. And if no one's told you, I'm really proud of you. And the reason why I even say this at the end of my videos is because I was never told that my parents were proud of me. No one's ever told me that they were proud of me. So I had to learn to tell myself, I'm very proud of you and you're doing a good job. So I just want to tell you that in case you don't hear it, okay? And if you do, even better. This is just extra credit, all right? I love you. Enjoy yourself. Be drama. Bye.